comes in here most every day. Yes, I'm sure it's her. With this description that you gave, I'm almost double sure. Her little boy is 4 or 5, and he just can't be still. If you're checking on her credit, sir, she always pays her bills. You say you used to know her well. How long ago was that? I'm sure some of her neighbors could tell you where she's at. Her husband gets off work at 5. He should be in for long. Well, what's the matter, mister? Did I say something wrong? Oh, yes, she's married, mister. The second time, she said. Her first man, he was killed in war or given up for dead. She never seemed to give up hope. She waited for so long. What's the matter, mister? Did I say something wrong? I tell her that a friend stopped by, a guy she used to know, and I won't forget it, sir. I'll tell the boy hello. Why don't you wait a little while? They should be in for long. Well, how come you leaving, mister? Did I say something wrong? I ask you why you're leaving, sir. Did I say something wrong?
Your fans that are with you here today, if that's all right. We're going to get them to introduce themselves.
Well, here's a sweet one right here, sitting by me right here, all the way from Meridian, Mississippi, Miss Anna Shepherd.
Hello, everybody. Tony and I have been friends for 31 years.
31 years. Bless your heart, I love you.
Let's meet some more of Tony's fans right now.
Kathy Vest, and we first saw Tony in Bullard, Texas, in a gymnasium, and we took the kids. We had 4 kids at the time home, and they were just so excited. They'd never been to see a country music star before. And one of the things that I remember most about Tony's shows, we followed him and been to several concerts since then, is that you could always take your family there and not have to worry about it being anything that they should not see. And we really do love him.
If he loves her and her love's untrue, down comes his castle wall, down comes his castle wall.
Like Tony Douglas and Tom Perryman have paved the way for the rest of us. I promise you that. I want to ask you about Thank You for Touching My Life. The first time you heard that song, did you know that song was a hit?
I thought it was. Of course, I don't know, something about me, and Billy here, she's probably as good at it as I am. But, you know, I would play it, but I left that up to the listeners. You know, the listeners made this business. You can't fool them. They're never wrong. I don't care. You used to could buy a full-page ad in Billboard, and the first thing you knew, you was #1, and it might have not have sold anything. The people in East Texas, in my experience in here and in Jacksonville and in Gladewater and in Henderson, those people in East Texas knew what was good and what wasn't.
cheating heart will make you weep. You'll cry and cry and try to sleep, but sleep won't come the whole night through. Your cheating heart will tell on you.
I said, who's the artist? And he said, Tony Douglas and the Shrimpers. I think I heard about that with my daddy. But I don't know, Glenn. I just don't know if I'm really interested. I got a lot of stuff I'm doing. I'm finishing up this movie. I don't know. And he said, well, we're going to blow stuff up. And I thought to myself for a minute, we're going to blow stuff up. And so I was excited about it.
Well, there's a fire. There's a fire.
I know it. We got to go put it out.
And it started getting scared, and I talked to Mouse, and he said, man, I wish somebody could stop this. And all the men were screaming, stop it, he's not fighting you. And the women were crying. And I thought, oh, this is not turning out well. All of a sudden, I saw something in the peripheral vision on my right side in white walking, and it was Tony Douglas in that white suit with that white hat.
That really did happen. And we're fixing to show you why that he was with us. I mean, he played good back in them days, and the older he gets, the better he plays.
It's really nice to be out on the road with somebody that's I guess I can say a nice gentleman, isn't it? Because that's not what a lot of people are in the entertainment business.
And he was always dressed real neat, and he was always real nice and kind to everybody, and I think they called him Mr. Nice Guy, didn't they?
Yeah, Joe Poovey came up with that on an album, and y'all keep talking this way, and my halo's going to drop down and choke me to death here.
We were talking about the hayride days, the Louisiana hayride. Now, that was some really, really special days for you and Tony to be a part of that in country music history, wasn't it?
It was right next to the Grand Ole Opry, I guess they called it, but I always thought it was a little better than the Grand Ole Opry. But we had some great times there. They would take the hayride on the road at times. We'd play West Texas, and we played different towns in Louisiana, but most of the time it was at the Municipal Auditorium there in Shreveport.
So how many years, how long did you and Mim actually date before you proposed to Mim?
Oh, man, I just, right off the bat, I sort of proposed to her. But we went together about a year before we got married. And she finally asked me to marry her. Yeah, she did.
And as a little girl, how was Tony Douglas to his daughter?
I think he was a hero. I really do. He was it would just life was full and complete when everybody was home in bed. When Hank got older and he'd be out who knows where at night, and then and he'd be home, and then Daddy might come home late, and I would hear the doors open, and this was before even Jason, my younger brother, who's not here, came along, and it was almost like there was just a peaceful rest that fell over me because everyone was under the roof and God had brought everyone home safe again.
I didn't really know much of him when I was little, but when I grew up and I started to know more of him, started to get a little interesting. His music side sort of came over to me. I sort of like music, and I'm real proud of him. He's a good man.